Welcome everyone to V8 Online's coverage of Race of Champions 8, proudly presented by Oceanic Sim Racing, supporting the McGrath Foundation. Jay Kennedy and Des Hallam in the commentary box for the first race tonight. G'day, Des.
Hey, how's it going, Jay? Great to be here.
Yeah, very exciting to be here. We're off to Homestead, Miami for race 1, Race of Champions. So we're back to our traditional format after a couple of seasons of endurance style. Now back into the 4-race format over the 2 days, which is very, very exciting. Good to be back into it again.
Yeah, it's really getting back into the Race of Champions style that we want to see. We want to see a driver that can drive different cars around different tracks, the fastest, crown champion, and let's see what happens.
A little bit of a twist on it, but we might throw to our Soup Nazi Kitchen man, the man that will throw out the penalties tonight, Mike Koroloff. G'day, Mike.
What an introduction. Good evening, Jay. Good evening, Des. How are you both?
Very good, mate. Now, we're very excited. I know you're excited. It's going to be a very, very fun night.
Absolutely, Jay. We decided and we had a look at the comments in the forums after the last RAC 7, and there was some great comments there, but a lot of guys wanting to get back to traditional styles and formats of when RAC originally started out with Chris Tarrant. And so we decided to change a few things around a bit, give everybody that element of mystery and surprise back. So there are mystery cars and mystery tracks and all that. So you guys know what the first 2 tracks are. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what the other tracks are that are going to be used yet tomorrow night. And of course, the one thing that we did to add just that little bit further bit of interest into it is we've given you the choice of 4 cars, but you must race each car once. However, the choice will be up to you. So different cars, different tracks, fixed setups. Each car has been balanced so that they all perform relatively the same. Some have little advantages on different circuits and so forth, but that's going to be up to you to find out in the very short 30 minutes that you have to get used to it and practice and qualify. And I think that's going to produce some fantastic racing.
Yeah, I agree. Fantastic format. Good to be back to the old traditional format. I think everyone's looking forward to racing tonight and watching. It should be good fun to actually watch again tonight. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to get back to the grassroots. You know, I can if I'm going to give you one tip or one little clue as to what it's going to be tomorrow night is that we won't be using Bathurst. We used that in the last 2 RACs. Fantastic track, good events. We went for the enduro style, but we sort of felt that Bathurst has been done to death a little bit, so definitely not a track that we're going to use tomorrow night. But as for the rest, well, we're just not going to say. But we think you'll enjoy them. We think it's going to produce some great racing, and it should give you some very mixed and varied results.
Yeah, it should be really good. The cars, obviously there's 4 cars as we were just saying. There's the Ford GT. We also have the new BMW, the McLaren and the AUF. So all very, very close cars. Anywhere with 3 GT3 cars and a GT2 car. The racing should be really, really close.
Well, this is what we tried to do, is make it so that really if you did choose one car over another, it would be more so a personal preference that you have for that car at that track, rather than go, oh, this one's got a power advantage or a handling advantage. We worked pretty hard in conjunction with a bunch of testers and so forth to make the cars handle very much the same, and to make the power differences work and even themselves out. So it should be, we're hoping we've got it right, and the testing, the proof will be in the pudding. But yeah, we think it's going to be a pretty exciting sort of a race to watch. And of course, each driver's not really going to know what the other guys are taking. But of course, the most important thing to remember here is that you must drive each car at least once, otherwise you will not be considered for Race of Champions. And of course, from a technical aspect, be very careful when you're entering the servers to choose the correct car, because once you choose that car and enter the server, you cannot change it. So if you've driven the car twice, well, that's it, you're out.
That's some very tough rules right there, Mike. One thing I'm actually looking forward to is the amount of time you've given the drivers in a practice session.
Well, look, it's one of those things, isn't it? And it's something that we read in the forums that guys were saying, there was, we want open setups, or we like fixed setups, or, let's bring back the mystery to it. So one of the things we felt that was important here is if we're going to add a little bit of mystery to it, then giving you the option of having an open setup is obviously mismatching the cars, so we've closed that down. But a short period of time allows you to just focus on driving the car. So from a practice point of view, you're going to be on the track as much as you can, you're going to be driving it, and the object obviously is to get out there and drive it, not crash it, because you're going to have to go back, reset, and you'll have a full fuel tank again. So you can't alter that. So obviously guys want to know what the car's going to feel like on a slightly longer run. So get out there, circulate, feel what it's like, put your tyres on it, go from there. And we hope that from a broadcast point of view, that's going to give you plenty of stuff to talk about.
It'd be good. The guys are already 7 minutes into this warm-up session, and already the 10-minute session. Then we're straight into qualifying. It's going to be very, very quick. Guys that haven't really had any practice or any knowledge in these cars or even these tracks, they're going to really struggle, I think, tonight.
Yeah, they could well do, but that's what Race of Champions is about, really, isn't it? It's a case of get in there, figure it out, and everybody's got the same equipment, or as close as we can giving them the same equipment, and that's going to produce a champion out of the person who can adapt the best to the car, the track, and the conditions. I must say though, I think the mystery of it is something that we're glad to have brought back. It's certainly something I know you guys are going to chat about, but I think you'll have a great call and everything's going to go well. And I've got to head over there and get into the circuit myself, get it all set up. So I'm going to bid you adieu, gentlemen, and head on over.
Good luck, mate. Enjoy yourself, and we'll no doubt talk to you or hear your voice during the race when you are working out some penalties, etc., with black flags potentially coming out tonight. So good luck. Enjoy yourself.
I certainly will. Thank you very much for having me on, and of course, just remember we do this each Race of Champions for the McGrath Foundation, and don't forget to donate for all you people out there. It's donate.v8online.com.au, which is the link, and those donations are always gratefully accepted. It's a fantastic organisation. Many of us have been touched by family members or friends in unfortunate situations, and McGrath Foundation is a great way of helping them out. Okay, so don't forget, guys, that's the goal for the night. Let's see how much we can raise this season. Thank you very much for having me on, fellas, and I'll see you later.
Thanks, Mike. So yeah, don't forget to donate to the McGrath Foundation, donate.v8online.com.au. We've raised over the past few race champs, I think about $5,000 for all different charities, be it the Cancer Council or McGrath Foundation. They all do really, really great things for the community, so make sure you dig in your pockets if you are watching.
Yeah, it really is a great cause, guys. Just on another note, I really hope there's not too many Russell Ingles out there that's going to throw a lot of stick Mike's way.
And one thing we'll apologise for, we're just having some issues with our overlays when new drivers are joining the session, so our apologies for that. Our on-screen graphics are being a bit temperamental tonight and haven't coped very well with the new iRacing build as well as we'd like, so our apologies.
That's pulled up the end of the practicing. We'll just run through the top 10, guys.
Yep. So
Chris,
you go, Des, go. Okay, I'll go.
You go, mate. You're the pro.
Chris Osborne from Madison Down, Tony Autridge, Bobby Jovanovic, Josh Muggleton, Rob Hartley, Reese Gardner, Mitch McLeod, Marlon McMullen and Guy Leach, top 10. Only 15 guys managed to put down a lap out of the 35 in the session. Interesting to see, I think all four cars are being used by guys in this field, so quite a few though in the Ford GT. Ford GT looks like it is the car of choice for a lot of guys.
Yeah, I think this circuit will suit the GT more than the GT3 cars. Plus, it's also always good to get rid of that car. It's going to be the less handling of the cars, I do believe. It's a personal opinion.
Yeah. Now, lost images just for a few minutes, so we'll get them back as soon as we can. The 20-minute session track, for those of you who are wondering, we are at Homestead, Miami. This is the road course A, if you are wondering which one it is.
Just going to run off a couple of notable drivers. We've got Josh Muggleton. He's in the McLaren. His teammate, Madison Down, he's actually in a GT40. Another teammate there from them, Lee Ellis, he's also in a GT40. Christopher Osborne, who headed the times before, was in the Porsche.
There's a lot more guys in the McLaren than I thought would have been. I thought guys would be using the McLaren later on. Probably more in the next race, so interesting there.
As we're starting to get our first times through, Christian Elwood's just jumped to the top with a 146, but I think that's still an outlap.
Yeah, really. Outlap speed. The times in practice were in the 120s, so a little bit away from where I expect the guys to be. One thing you may notice with a few of the cars out there, colour rims, so finally guys can actually paint their rims to match their livery, so different colours out there.
Yeah, but you can do so in real life. They're allowing it now, so yep. All the GT cars can do so.
Now we're starting to get our first real times coming through now. Tony Autry took a 121.3.
Oh, it's Osborne up to a 120.7.
Good time.
Just watching the quick man in the BMW at the moment, Christian Elwood. Running the tag BMW, he should put down a pretty good time.
Muggleton goes to the top in the McLaren.
122 for the BMW there. We've got our own Reese Gardner out there for V8's Online. He's in the GT40 and put down a 22.7, so that's pretty quick out of him.
Looking at a lot of the guys out there, a lot of guys are struggling in whatever car they've chosen, so it looks like quite a few guys, as you said, are taking the hardest car first.
Yeah, not every car's to each driver's liking. There's going to be one that's going to suit everyone.
A few guys still yet to put down a time, competitive time. 20 guys putting down what appears to be fast laps. Mitchell McLeod still yet to put down a fast time. Ocatel still yet to put down a fast time. He's one I actually think will do very, very well in this. Oh, another driver driving the Ford GT. He was looking forward to it once they announced the BMW. He's been racing the BMW non-stop since it was released on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think everyone's been running that BMW ragged.
including yourself.
Definitely. It's been a great addition, and it should actually hot up the GT3 series. Madison in the GT40, topping the GT40s with a 21.2, so that's very quick out of him.
Interesting to see the speed with the Ford GT. Obviously, saying before, the setups have all been very, very closely balanced between all four cars.
As we go on board with Tony Aldridge and McLaren, yeah, they've just fiddled with the weights and everything and brought that GT up in, so it'll be a great mixture. Obviously, each car is going to have a different braking, turning. Yeah, it'll be great to see which ones can get up here. Philip Johansson, Porsche though, he's up in 20 with a 21.3. He's up in 5th place.
You guys really looking like they're struggling, especially on the back half of the circuit, coming off the oval back onto the infield, back part of the course. It looks like they're really struggling to get the car to grip. Mainly guys in the Ford GT.
Yeah, I think as you go into the race, look for the Porsche to be probably the most consistent. But they've only got one race to use that nice car with, and they've all got to jump into a brand new car, a car that not everyone uses, and the old faithful of the GT3s, the McLaren. So
Interesting, I think there's only one BMW looking through the field. Engine Delilah using BMW. No, two. Christian Elwood as well using BMW. So, also James McKnight is using. There's three out there.
might actually pay for drivers to leave that to the last round so they can get in after tonight and maybe tomorrow, get some more practice in with that, because people are still fine-tuning driving this car. It's a little bit of a different animal.
One new thing that's also been released as Philip Johansson jumps up the timing sheet a little bit further is now into third position. The JFF Racing AOF. One other thing is traction control's been released in a few of the GT cars, so changed a few people's driving styles over the last few days as well.
Well, Madison down into the 20.9s in that GT40.
Olga Jovanovic as well, also 21 flat.
Clayton Brooks jumped into the top 10 there with a 21.6. Just on a point of interest for our viewers, Clayton's driver, Justin Ruggier, actually was able to score a second place round at Malala today in his Aussie V8 racing. To see the tag driver out there in the real world showing what these guys can do.
They're driving in the Umo V8 touring car series, so it's the third, I guess, the third tier of V8 supercars in Australia, behind the Dunlop series. So it's for older spec V8 supercars that are no longer able to race in the Dunlop series. So former championship winning car that he's actually driving, 2006 championship winning car.
Yeah, very good car, very lucky for him. Yeah, it's great for Justin to be out there, and we'll say a big hi to him. Hopefully he'll be watching at home.
One thing we haven't really mentioned yet is it's actually quite tough pit exit. We have the same, I think this will be the third time now that we've had Race of Champions here at Homestead, Miami. It's really tough if you come out of the pits to know whereabouts you can go. Like, it's really tough with how the track blends or merges with the fast guys, especially when they're at the fastest point on the track as they're coming to where the pit exit is. So we might see a bit of carnage before the end of the session.
Yeah, it was definitely carnage at the start there while we'd lost pitches, but I'm pretty sure that hairpin onto that rear straight is actually very technical and very difficult to get done.
Hampstead not as close to the front as he would like. He's about 2 seconds off where he wants to be. Crosses the line. 22-1, so he moves up a spot, up from 20th to 19th. Very loose. The car ahead of him in position, Sean Kelly. Also in Ford GT. Top 10 as it stands right now with 8 minutes to go in the session. Josh Muggleton driving the McLaren. Chris Osborne in RUF in second. Madison down in the Ford GT in third. Ian Ford now up in the fourth, also driving RUF. Christian Elwood driving BMW in fifth. So the 4 manufacturers in the top 5. Tony Autridge in sixth position. Oliver Jovanovic. Yes. Someone's just moved. Philip Johansson's up to 5th now, sorry. Christian Elwood in 6th, Tony Autridge 7th, Bobby Jovanovic in 8th, Reece Gardner in 9th, and Sanjan Delilac in 10th.
There's Chris Osborne in that last lap, narrows the gap to Josh Muggleton. He's about a 10th away. So very tight at the top between those two. Watching our top BMW driver here, Christian Elwood. Actually drops it down to third, 20.6. We've just gone under 7 minutes to go in the session. So a lot of drivers now starting to find their feet with these cars.
I think we'll see some experience of guys that have raced in previous Race of Champions start to come through as well, because this track will be familiar to some guys that have been around a little bit.
It's not really a circuit that actually gets used quite a lot. The Roval circuits are quite hard because you've got to transition from the road circuit up into the banking, and especially here out of the last turn, you'll actually see the cars bottom out and really pound that pavement trying to get up onto the banking.
Improvement in time for Chris Osborne with a 20.2.
5/100ths a bit behind Josh Muggleton.
We've got 36 cars who have posted a lap time so far. 35 of those guys will be what we consider a competitive time. Marty Atkins, the only driver yet to post a competitive lap. His time would be an out lap. There's a couple of names in the ticker that you won't actually see post a lap time. It would be Mike Korolev, Andrew Wallace. They obviously won't be racing. They are race control, so we could potentially hear from those guys throughout the race. Apologies to you guys, our timing screens aren't working as correctly as we would like, so our apologies, making it a little bit harder for us to keep in touch with what's going on. You guys watching at home have got a better view than us currently. Our apologies for that.
While that's been happening, Anthony Kernich in the RUF has actually jumped up to third with a 120.6. Great job there by the Oval expert.
One guy I'm really interested to watch tonight is Sanjin Delilah. Looking very, very good in the V8 Supercar. Does race a bit of GT cars as well. So this could be right up his alley tonight.
We Josh Muggleton here, he's just crossing the line, starting his lap now, so let's see if we can stay on board with him and show you a lap of this track.
There we go, there's the new fastest lap from Josh Muggleton.
A big move there by Ian Ford in the Demidov Porsche.
So we have 1 minute 40 to go. Not long left.
As we've got our reigning supercar champion, Madison Down.
I think he's only won a couple of races in his career.
Yeah, Anthony Kernich has just jumped up to second with a 120.25, so splits Muggleton and Osborne.
Down still fourth at the moment, then Elwood, Ortridge, Ford, Johansson, Jukanovic and George Fullerton up to 10. Madison Down now goes to P2, 5/100ths of a second behind Muggleton.
That's just credit to the OSR boys in Simon and all of them. They've got these cars sorted to a T.
If you want parity, that's as close as you're going to get it. Elwood going into the last few corners.
Sitting
Just
fifth there in the BMW. He's actually lowered his time to a 20.5. Let's see what he can pull off this time.
.5.
He's actually bettered his time, but only by a couple of hundredths.
It's actually his second flying lap then too, so checkered flag is now out. Madison Down won't improve, Anthony Kernich won't improve. Chris Osborne just made the checkered flag.
Tony Ortridge up to fifth with a 20.4.
Nice and close at the top.
Phil Sell up to 14th. Finally gets a good lap in.
Mitchell McLeod's a bit of a surprise, back in 23rd at the moment.
Yeah, with a 21.8, which is his best lap. He was not able to beat that.
And Bo Cattell as well, another one I'm surprised. He's currently in 30th.
Sean Kelly's jumped to 11th with a 21.5. Got Muggo here completing his lap, but he was all sorts of sideways coming out of the last turn.
Oh,
it goes
fastest
faster.
lap 20.0. There's Osborne. Has he got anything to respond? No. Lap time will not count. I believe that's the end of qualifying. We're about to get into the race, straight into it tonight. Run through the grid. There'll be Josh Muggleton from Madison Down, Anthony Kernich, Chris Osborne, Tony Ortridge, Christian Elwood, Ann Ford, Sanjin Delilac, Philip Johansson, Bobby Jovanovic. Over the page, Sean Kelly, George Fullerton, Marlon McMullen, Richard Hampstead, Jared Fieldsail, Matt Nethercote, Reese Gardner, Simon Black, Rob Hartley, Michael Fabian, Clayton Brooks, James McKnight, Mitch McLeod, Guy Leach, Lee Ellis, Matthew Barron, Dave Oliver, Martin Carroll, Jake Burton, Bo Cattell, Damien Butler, Michael Pagrios, Mike Matheson, Tim Fultz, Michael Wilson, and Marty Atkins. 36 drivers we will have for the race. We get ready to go.
Yep, and as you went through the list there, our steward for the race, Mike Koroloff, he's been telling the drivers very sternly to make sure that they pick the right car for the next race. Because if they don't, and they jump back into the server with a different car, or with the same car they had before, they are not valid for the championship points.
Having some issues, we've just lost vision for a couple of seconds. We'll do our best to get pictures back as soon as we can. The grid's starting to fill up. We're about ready to go. Apologies, we have lost pictures for a second. We'll get them back as soon as we can.
Actually underway.
Madison down with a very, very poor start. He's been gobbled up by about 4 or 5 cars. Hamilton's away from Kernich, Osborne, Ortridge, then down tucks in behind his teammate.
Muggo's actually cleared out with a 5-car lead here. There's still single file. There's actually quite a few cars at the back of the pack that have actually came into contact here. Ooh. So we can confirm, going into turn 1, that Sean Kelly and Lee Ellis have actually got together. So the teammates have got together. That was the accident at the start of the race.
Let's also say Reese Gardner looks like he's out of the race. He's got massive rear wheel issues. Massive crabbing going on. Unfortunate. Apologies for the overlays crashing. They're not coping with the new build at all. So sorry about that. We'll try and fix it in between races.
But after lap 1, we've got Josh Muggleton lead, Christopher Osborne, Tony Ortridge, Anthony Kernich, Madison Down, Ian Ford, Christian Elwood, Sanjin Delilac, George Fullerton, and Philip Johansson as your top 10.
We've just got our first penalty handed out. Marlon McMullen's been issued with a black flag penalty. Would have been for an incident on the first lap. Apologies, we're just going to lose pictures again for a second, so sorry for this, guys.
I can
All
actually
sorts of
tell you,
technical issues.
that Marlon McMullen was actually the cause of those two TPR drivers getting together.
Up the front. Had Elwood into the back of Down, who was in the back of Ford. Very, very close racing up the front. The first three guys have checked out a little, but Down's now ahead of Ford, Elwood, Delilac, and Fullerton. Fourth through eighth. Muggleton now out to a almost 2-second lead over Osborne. Then it's Ortridge and Kernich next.
With a nice little battle pack led by Madison Down, with Down, Ford, Elwood, Delilac, and George Fullerton sitting about a half a second off these four.
Oh, Kelly, Alice, facing the wrong direction. Michael Wilson might have also been involved there too. Bocatel facing the wrong direction.
We've got Rob Hartley coming up for a move here for the DCM driver. He's looking at taking Michael Fabian.
Oh, and he spins!
He spins in front of the field. Oh, well done. Powers it on and gets out of the way.
Manages to get it off the track. Now, apologies
We
for...
see Dave Oliver and Guy Leach running side by side.
Apologies again.
Back out of it. Sorry there, Jay.
That's right. I was just going to say apologies again for the overlay issues. But we may not have any on-screen graphics for this race, so sorry guys. We see another black flag issued as well. Sean Kelly's now been issued with a black flag penalty.
Christian Elwood's actually slipped backwards. And he's actually got a bit of a net drama. He's blinking.
Just watching the 3-4 GTs in a bit of a battle pack. We've got McLeod, Barron and Philsell all together. McLeod a little bit loose out of that. One of theirs come onto the back straight of the oval. Through
got Lee Ellis trying to exit the pits here. He's actually slipped in behind Tony Ortridge, so he's now a lap down.
Not an easy thing to do is get out of this pit lane.
Yeah, but Muggo's out to a bit of a commanding lead. He's pretty much got 2 seconds there on the rest of the field, followed by Christopher Osborne. He's got 3 seconds back to Tony Ortridge, with Anthony Kernich 1.5 seconds behind him, and Madison Down, he's out to 2 seconds outside of Kernich. So this front five are actually quite split. But the battle is on for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th.
A run through top 10 with Josh Muggleton leading. So Chris Osborne is giving him very, very hard time. Currently P2, P3 Tony Ortridge doing a very, very smooth job. Anthony Kernich next in 4th. Madison Down 5th position. Christian Elwood in 6th. 7th would be Sanjin Delilac. 8th is Ian Ford. Richard Hampstead 9th position. And Bobby Ivanovic with right behind him Matt Nethercote having a spin. It looks like we've been joined by a fellow commentator running a little bit late. He couldn't find the keys to the commentary box. Daniel Bryant has joined us tonight. Hey Daniel.
How you going, guys?
Good to have you finally here, mate.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I heard Seb yell amateur hour or something, and I thought, geez, I better jump on.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Love this track. Homestead, Race of Champions. I love this mashup. I think it's fantastic.
We're on lap 6 of 18 lap race this one.
It's interesting to see the positions. There's a few bigger names that are a little bit further back, but a lot of them seem to be Ford GTs that tend to be sitting at the back of the grid.
Yeah, interesting there. Like, I guess the guys you're probably meeting would be Hillsell, Barron, McLeod, Fabian. It's getting their 15th through to 18th. Guys would probably expect to be pushing for those top 10 positions.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, you'd expect to see them up there. I honestly thought the Ford GT would be quite quick with the oval part of this track and the long straights, but obviously the extra weight added onto it doesn't really help with its top speed.
We go to the BMW battle here. We've got Sanjin Delilac in 7th, hunting down Christian Elwood.
Who's hunting down Madison Down, doing a very good job of it. And Anthony Kernich did actually drop back a little as well. Down's got him within his sight.
They're all matching each other's speed, but at the front, Chris Osborne's actually gaining. He got 3/10 the last lap on Josh Muggleton.
Interesting to look at the speeds or the times for the guys that Muggleton and also Osborne have both the last few laps beaten their qualifying times.
As it would be with a GT car, you would expect the tyres to come into their own after about 4 or 5 laps. The pace of this just ramps up. 18 laps on these tyres is really nothing when these tyres can do 3 hours.
Yeah, definitely. Here's where it's getting interesting. Madison Down looks like he's right on the tail of Anthony Kernich, but those two BMWs definitely want that position as well.
There's something for note for viewers back at home. The GT3 cars actually got a revamp this patch, and they've now got to play with a high compression and low compression as well as high and low dampener. So a lot more for the setup guys to do back at home. Doesn't really come into effect with the fixed setup, as the LSR guys have done a brilliant job with the setups, but it's great to see that iRacing is just leaped ahead of the curve and enabled us to be able to play with all those little fancy bits on these great cars.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be some tech gurus out there who's going to love being able to do that adjustment, but there's going to be people like me who's going to be pulling out my hair trying to work out what does what.
I got confused when you started talking about it. I got no idea what it is. That shows what category I'm in.
Well, we won't go into that right now because I think another 8 laps is another 10 laps to go. We don't have time, but at the moment we've got Josh Muggleton sitting in first place, Christopher Osborne 1.6 behind him, Tony Aldridge in third, Anthony Kernich followed by Madison Down, Christian Elwood, Sanjin Delilac in 7th, Ian Ford's jumped to 8th, Richard Hampstead in 9th, Bobby Johanovic in 10th, rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, we got James McKnight running 11th. Great job there by James. Clayton Brooks in 12th. Simon Black 13th. Matthew Barron sitting in 14th. Mitchell McLeod in 15th. Looks like Madison Down though is about to make his move on Anthony Kernich. Pushes Madison up into 4th.
Elwood's got the spot as well, so Elwood's snuck in there too.
Kernich making sure he left lots of room there for Madison, pulling himself out wide and let 2 cars slip through. So.
It's not over for this spot though.
No, I think.
Got another BMW underneath.
He didn't block quick enough.
In there too.
It looks like there's
And
another
Ford also.
who wants it as well.
Good battle here.
Yeah, fantastic job there from Madison Down.
Look at Reece Gardner. Unfortunately, back in 34th, he's dropped a lap. He had some damage early on, that massive incident on the first lap. Unlucky for Reece.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll bounce back once he swaps over to a different car. He's not a big fan of the Ford GT, so we'll see him bounce back.
There's a lot of people out there who actually aren't a massive fan of this Ford GT. I think it's a great car. Is it as easy to drive as the GT3 cars? Probably not. And there's probably a lot of guys out there who are struggling with it. So I reckon Madison Downs probably made a smart move by getting the Ford GT out of the way straight off the bat.
Guys. Inside of Kernage going off the banking into the rear section of the track, and he's got that cleanly done.
Yep.
Fantastic move there by Ian Ford.
Kernage has gone from 4th back to 8th within a lap and a half.
It's normally this car is really good with tyres. It's strange to see Anthony Kernage going so far backwards with it.
Putting him through as well.
And back just behind Kernage, this is 9th and 10th. Richard Hampstead, Bobby Jovanovic.
Yeah, Richard won't really be used to this.
He's normally the one that's putting pressure on other guys, and he copes pretty well in a car he's very, very comfortable in with guys pressuring him, but not sure how comfortable Hammer is in the Ford GT, so this will be a different experience for him.
Let's have a ride along here with Richard as we see Bobby floating around looking for a way around.
Yeah, it's not just strengths and weaknesses of the driver that we're looking at here. Each car will have its own, and whether that driver can play into it, as we see the GT40 get a bit loose out of the hairpin.
Yeah, you can definitely see how strong the rough is under brakes, around the corners. As the Ford GT bounces around, as it hits the bumps, it doesn't really seem to bother the rough that much.
There's 7 laps to go. After this race, we're off for race 2 at Barber Motorsport Park. Probably my favourite track, or one of my favourite tracks. Really looking forward to that. What cars do you think will be the car to drive at that circuit, boys?
Barber, that's a good one. I haven't had a chance to try the Beamer yet, so I'm not too sure. But you think there'd be a lot more people that would be comfortable at Barber in a rough? Looking back on the GT series and that, I would say that the rough would be the pick.
I'm thinking that, or the BMW for the guys that are comfortable with the car, the guys that haven't driven the BMW yet. And Hampstead, nice and close battle here. The guys that aren't quite comfortable with the BMW yet will probably hold that off till tomorrow. But the guys that are comfortable with it will probably take that up at Barber.
Yeah, and I suppose when it comes into picking what car you're going to use,
makes a mistake. Bobby's now side by side. No,
and it's got a good run.
Enough.
Yeah, when it comes to picking your car, you're going to pick your favourite car at your favourite track. So there's probably guys waiting to get to their track on the schedule. Yeah,
now that we've narrowed down to 2, the track's down out of 2, we know which 2 are tonight. Drivers will go out and test. I'm still picking the McLaren at Barber. I just can't beat the brakes on that through those technical sections, especially down the hills where Barber is very undulating.
I think the guys that have picked the Ford GT in this race definitely are at an advantage now going into the next race tonight and tomorrow. Obviously we don't know what track's tomorrow, so you guys sort of have to think about what possibly might come about, what's happened in previous Race of Champions, and try and work it out from there.
And that's it. This is Race of Champions. This is 4 races you've got to put together with strong finishes to be able to accumulate the most points in 4 different cars.
Here's Delilac and Ian Ford. Very, very close.
Ian Ford's got a good run. I think he's going to get this done.
Yep.
Looks like Sandrin's missed a gear there.
Plenty of room there for Ian Ford.
Could have even done a mysterious double shift, which I know you were saying you'd done earlier yourself, Des, in this car, in the BMW.
Yeah, just being with the new car, I'm still,
Whoa!
Sandrin's almost
Sam's just done
around.
the exact same thing. Oh, but he's managed to hit the wall. Yeah, that car's not looking good. Oh, I see we have full hoods that come off now.
Yeah, that's quite massive damage.
Alright.
We've had a big accident here with Jake Burton. Coming through the hairpin, getting onto the back straight. Looks like Rob Hartley's just nailed the rear of him coming into the turn, and it's caused a massive accident.
There's a few guys involved in that one too. Barron,
Mike
that is in the-
Matheson.
Mike Matheson, yep. Actually made contact a couple of times there, so not good.
Try and find that on replay for you. Just
Maybe a little bit old school tonight.
This is almost going back to the original days, isn't it?
Hey, this is sort of a farewell for some parts of our line, so we might as well do it like we used to.
Yeah. Just drop that quality a little bit for us there, Seb.
You go back to less than standard def and we'll be right.
Yeah.
yeah, this will be interesting on what Mike's going to rule on this one. He's been pretty firm so far.
I think we've seen 3 penalties already.
Yeah, it looks like he's calling for some readdresses and reviewing after race.
There may be an after-race penalty for Rob Hartley come about. But,
No, he's actually noted that it was readdressed. Rob actually stood and waited before the back straight and waited for all those cars to go past him. So, with Rob doing the right thing, we might see no penalties handed out here.
Go back to the front. So
it
gap
looks
now
like-
2.5 seconds between Muggleton and Osborne. And the gap from second back to third is actually 13 seconds. These front two guys are just pulling away.
Yeah, Muggo, quality driver, but Chris, he is pretty much a GT3 driver. He's very good with these. We've seen him in the DP in the Grand Am series, but I know he is a great driver and good for DCM to get in the plug there. He's up in second place with a team that usually doesn't race.
I think the whole motto is not to race, isn't it?
I think you're sacked when you race. That's
Yeah,
what I thought
yeah.
it was. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. So all the team scouts, you'll have someone you can sign up on Monday morning or Tuesday morning. Chris Osborne, he'll be looking for a new team because he'll be sacked.
Yep.
Rob Hartley also for racing in this. He's racing, so he's out.
No, I know most of those guys over there. They're a great bunch of guys.
Obviously that
Most
team
of.
as well. Obviously with Chris Tarrant started Race of Champions. Because now this is the 8th running of Race of Champions, so it will be 2 years old now. We've got 3 laps to go. 2.5 now, Muggleton on the back straight. Muggleton leading from Chris Osborne. 3rd place is Tony Aldridge. Madison down in 4th. Christian Elwood in 5th. And Ford in 6th. Anthony Kernich in 7th. Massive gap behind them back to Richard Hampstead. Albert Jovanovic in 9th. And James McKnight in 10th position.
James McKnight doing a great job from 22nd on the grid. He's up to 10th, so just staying out of trouble yields really great results.
Obviously, as we were talking about before, the coloured rim. I think the fluorescent pink there definitely makes you stand out.
Yeah, definitely. I like this coloured rim thing.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's pretty cool. Glad we finally got it.
Yep. As long as iRacing can bring in rubbered tracks, I'd be a happy man right now. So we've got 2 laps to go.
Two to go, and Tony Autridge is now under attack from Madison Down. He's caught right up to him, right on his tail now. And Christian Elwood's followed. So we will see a 3-car battle for third position with 1.5 laps to go. Looks like there's no traffic to get involved either, which is always good. These guys battle amongst themselves.
And Ford just slipping off the back of this battle in the Demidov RUF. We'll have a good look here of the strengths and weaknesses as we look back towards Madison Down off of Tony Autridge.
The final lap as well, so one last chance for Madison Down to get the move done on his teammate.
We've just had a race control come down. Rob Hartley's actually given himself a drive through, and race controls deemed that as a worthy punishment for that accident 3 laps ago.
Muggleton on screen leading final lap here. The new look TTR colours for hybrid race simulations.
Yeah, week 13, it brings the silly season to iRacing to see who jumps where and all the new looks for all the new teams. It's going to be real interesting in the next coming weeks.
A nice looking livery's already been announced, so
Josh Muggleton rounds the final turn. And he'll win this one from Christopher Osmond very comfortably.
yeah, good win for Muggleton. Osborne second position, but it's still on for third, fourth and fifth between Autridge, Down and Elwood. Like Autridge will hold on though. Oh, Down almost got a little bit better run out of the final corner, but Autridge will hold on. Down Elwood in fifth, Enford in sixth, Anthony Kernich in seventh.
Bit of a break back to Richard Hampstead, still coming through the last combo now. Bobby Johanovich has slipped off the back of Hampstead. Bobby in ninth. James McKnight with a great drive in 10th. Jared right behind him in 11th.
Jared Philsell come on strong right at the end there. McLeod in 12th position. Clayton Brooks just holds on from Simon Black. 13th and 14th for those guys. Matt Nethercote next in 15th position. A little bit of track on who is where.
Dave Oliver will be the last one on the lead lap past the finish line.
Josh Muggleton picking up win in race one. Obviously another race tonight. We do know where it will be. But what car will the guys pick? I don't think we'll see many Ford GTs in the next race at Barber. Who knows?
Yeah, well, Barber, great track to watch people race. I absolutely hate racing there though, so if it was me it would be the Ford GT because I think that would be the worst car to drive out of the pick for me.
Well done to Josh Muggleton though, celebrating like a champion right there. Getting a lot of reports through from the drivers glad to be out of this car that they actually drove in this round, so we should step up next time.
I'll go through the results. Josh Muggleton from Chris Osborne, Tony Autridge, Madison Down, Christian Elwood, Ian Ford, Anthony Kernich, Richard Hampstead, Bobby Jovanovic, James McKnight, Jared Philsell, Mitch McLeod, Clayton Brooks, Simon Black, Matt Nethercote, Michael Parry-Gross. I can't say strange names, sorry. Sorry, Michael. Michael Fabian next, Guy Leach, Matthew Barron, Marlon McMullen, Sanjay Delilac, Damien Butler, Dave Oliver, Marty Atkins, Martin Carroll, Bo Cattell, George Fullerton, Jake Burton, Rob Hartley, Sean Kelly, Tim Fultz, Michael Wilson, Reese Gardner, Mike Matheson, Lee Ellis, Philip Johansson. 36 drivers we had in that race. We will take a very, very quick break. We'll be back for race 2 in just a few minutes.
Oh, I don't know, screenshot.
Oh, you know who did and who didn't?
This
Welcome back to V8s Online's coverage of Race of Champions 8, presented by V8s Online and Oceanic Sim Racing. Proudly supporting the McGrath Foundation, Jay Kennedy, Des Hallam, Daniel Bryant here for race 2 from Barber Motorsport Park. And Des is in the com box right now. G'day, Des.
Oh, mate, I just made it back. G'day. Oh, sorry, I was busy donating to the McGrath Foundation, so...
Make sure you all do that. Head to donate.v8sonline.com.au to donate. Reach in your pocket, give a little bit of money. You don't have to give too much.
Yeah, it's a great cause. We've all been touched by this. But ahead of us, we've got a great night racing trying to support this great foundation.
Interesting looking at the guys. There's not many guys out there in the Ford GT. As we expected, there are a couple.
Yeah, it's looking quite BMW and McLaren stacked, and I can understand why the drivers have gone for that.
Also joining us, Daniel Bryant. G'day, Daniel.
G'day guys, good to be here. I like to be here for the full race this time, so it should be interesting. But yeah, I was just talking with Des before when we were watching some practice and seeing how many Ford GTs are out there, and I think all up we counted 4 Ford GTs out on track.
Yeah, that's correct. Waiting for all the drivers to get through their outlaps and get in a decent lap. A couple of them are Matthew Barron heading the timesheets at the moment with a 128. Madison Down in fourth now, with a 129.6. So the times will start to crumble. We're only 2 minutes 40 into this 20-minute session.
It's a few extra drivers in this one. A few guys missed out on the first race tonight. They're here for the second race. Lots and lots of BMWs out on track. They are a very, very nice looking car too.
In the hybrid racing BMW there for TTR, he jumps to the top with a 121.4, sorry guys.
Nethercote P2, they're 21.5, driving the McLaren. Guy Leach next, also driving the McLaren. Madison Down next in the BMW.
Ian Ford jumps up with a 121.2 in the BMW.
The fastest driver so far in the AUF is Dave Oliver. So Matthew Barron goes to the top in the McLaren.
Yeah, he's in the V8 Online McLaren. That's a great time by him with a 120.8.
Of those fluorescent yellow wheels he's running too.
Yeah, they definitely stand out, those yellow ones, don't they?
Not as nice as orange, I reckon.
Bit of a party boy, old Matthew Barron. Living the uni lifestyle.
Love this piece of track here. This is the most fun bit of track down through section there.
There's Nethercote in the McLaren as well, and Madison Down out to Matthew Barron. Madison Down into the 119.9s. Now that's more the times we're looking for from these drivers.
Nethercote still P2, Barron P3, Fabian in 4th, Mitchell McLeod in 5th. Interesting with McLeod, he didn't actually own the McLaren, the Rough, or the BMW up until about an hour ago, so he's never driven any of these cars.
Well, if he raced a little bit more, maybe he would.
He'll be watching this later.
It's a very fresh car, not even painted.
Christian Elwood next has moved into P2. A 20.6.
Christian Elwood would be one to watch. He's running his McLaren. He's very used to this. This is what he ran in the GT3 series.
He was very, very quick too.
Yeah, very much at home in this McLaren MP4. Lee Ellis jumping up into second with a 20.04.
We shouldn't bag Mitch out too much. His work is actually coming in handy running the old school overlays tonight. Not that we particularly wanted to run them, but we've been left with not much choice tonight, so well done Mitch for actually doing something worthwhile.
Big moment there from Lee Ellis.
This
Seems to be
BMW
reversing it now up the thing. No, flicking it around.
That's one thing you'll find with this BMW. You actually really steer it quite a lot, so you are attempting that line of overspin with this car.
Reece Gardner on screen. Driving another car he doesn't enjoy a great deal. He'll be more at home tomorrow night, but much better performance so far, P12, than what he was in the early race.
Yeah, definitely. Starting to get a bit more into his groove once we hit the McLaren and the Beamer.
There's a name that we didn't expect to see at P1, but Michael Fabian now up to the top in, I don't know what that livery is. I know it's a mad cow, but I don't know what it is.
It's a great looking livery. He's got a 19.7.
Very good lap.
So he's a 10th in front of Madison, who's actually dropped his time to a 19.8.
Oh, just ahead of Fabian. Don't know who that was.
Marty
grass.
Atkins.
Marty Atkins.
That was a wild ride. Yeah, he's just hopped the curb too much and the suspension's thrown him around. I really don't think you can call that driving, Marty.
Just looking to see if any of the times change a great deal. There's not much movement at the top now. Well, Reece Gardner has moved to 10th.
Just looking, guys, I actually can't see that our previous race winner, Josh Muggleton's actually set a time yet.
He's currently position 38 BMW.
Yeah, he's running the new car. Maybe he's just trying to find his way with this.
A little bit of
It's about
time,
to cross
still
the
another
line.
11 minutes to go in the session. There we go, 27.8 for a lap time, moves him to 33rd, but only 8 seconds off the pole position.
Well, there's room for improvement there.
This rate I might even be able to beat Muggo. Probably not.
P2 from our last race, Christopher Osborne though. He's in the McLaren right behind Muggleton actually on track. He's got a 120.0, so...
Interesting, just looking at the times, Downs actually improved his time again. Still just behind Fabian, but Fabian at 19.63, Madison at 19.69. Chris Osborne just jumping up a couple of spots there. The 20 flat. Jared Philsale now at P5. Movement again. Christian Elwood in 6th. Philip Johansson in 7th.
Oh, Christopher Osborne with a 119.6. Great lap. Puts him to the top. Only 2/1000 of a second in front of Michael Fabian.
Six 100 separating first through third. Still last position, Josh Muggleton.
Muggo's still not been able to move up.
I'm a little bit surprised by that. I thought he would have at least tried to get a banker lap in, even if he'd only get it in the 21s, something around there. But he's
I think
really
last time he's actually got an off back in this, so
yeah.
He's pushing hard, but he is in last place in 36th spot.
Nine minutes to go. One thing the guys are starting to struggle with too is actually finding some room to get a decent lap in. 38 cars or 36 cars on track. Very, very tough to get a lap time. And there we go. That's the time we expect from Muggleton.
The fourth within 1:19.8.
Very good lap. Michael Fabian's back to first with a 19.2.
Lee Ellis has jumped up into fifth.
Hansen in 6th, Jared Philsell 7th, Nethercoat also doing very well in 8th, Jake Burton 9th. Richard Hampstead obviously a little bit more comfortable at the moment. He's currently in 11th, still not as high up as he'd like to be.
Having a look here at the Sim Instruments driver of Jake Burton. He's sitting in 9th at the moment and very close, not too far off the pace of these front runners, only 2/10. Repping a great Australian product there in the Sim Instruments dash. A big shout out to James there. I know he'll be watching.
I say I do love my Sim Instruments dash as well. One of the best sim purchases I've ever made.
Yeah, look, if you don't have one, you don't know what you're missing really. It does it all. It's a great Australian product.
That's something that not many people would realise is there's not a lot of sim racing products that come out of Australia, and you try and get behind them when you can, because they do make some very, very good products here. So Sim Instruments 1. Waiting for Daniel to come in and plug another one.
And the McGrath Foundation is another one. Make sure you jump on there and donate to these guys.
Got a little bit quiet on the leaderboard at the moment. Interesting looking, 23rd, 24th, or 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Simon Black, Mitch McLeod, Anthony Kernich. Not really expect that. Right on cue, Mitch McLeod P4 in the McLaren with a 19.6. Muggleton goes to P2 with a 19.4.
And Osborne right behind Muggo dropped his time to a 19.42.
Now back in 5th position. Hampstead in 13th. Bo Patel in 27th. I'm very, very surprised about that.
One I'm not surprised about is Jared Purcell. He's actually jumped up to 8th with a 120.1. The tag driver there doing a very good job on the McLaren.
They're all still trying to catch Michael Fabian. He's doing a very, very good jump so far. 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. And again, another 18-lap race. Right into it straight after it. Daughtridge now moves up to P9. Muggleton's just started his flying lap. We might see if we can get an onboard with Josh Muggleton for this flyer.
Thank you. 32 cars are separated by 3 seconds.
In the top, you look at the top 20, there is a guy that you would expect to see in the top 10, but he's not that far off the pace.
He's only, well, he's a second off pole, but yeah, now 14th position with another mover up through the field.
Yeah, if you can get a 10th off your time, a lot of these drivers are going to jump 3 or 4 positions. Got to put out a big shout out to the OSR guys. They've put a great set together on all these cars and made them a great parity.
I think when guys would have seen the format, they would have been a bit unsure about whether the format would work. But after that first race, everyone's overly excited with how close the cars are. Muggleton crossed the line with a 20.4, so about a second off the pace. But with these tyres, you could probably go another lap. Second or third lap might start to be where your fastest lap is.
I don't think we've had one that's actually selected the... Well, they've got 3 more chances to get it wrong, but yeah, they've been stressed and made sure that they pick the right car that they want to do the racing. If you race one car twice, you're out. No more points. You're disqualified.
Now, I'm yet to see anyone that's from memory that's driven the same car. Sure that they'll be being watched to make sure that they're not, but it looks like everyone's done the right thing.
Looks like Mitchell McLeod's got his head around this GT3 car. He's pumping that McLaren.
Might actually see him race for a change.
Yeah, might actually see him do something half decent for a change.
No, don't get too carried away.
Yeah, don't put your money on Mitchell McLeod.
Look, if there's a beer in the hand, let's not rule him out.
There'll be plenty of those he's already had. Hey, Mitch.
Old 8 time coming through the last few turns.
Down across the line as Muggleton goes to P1.
Oh, he bumped Mitch, only just.
But now it's 119 flat for Muggleton, goes to pole. Michael Fabian second, Chris Osborne third, now down in fourth with a 19.5 and then Cloud in fifth.
Yeah, we've only got under 2 minutes to go too, so these drivers might be their last chance. Maybe 2 more they'll get. These tyres can hold out. I know I can do my fastest times well into a race, so the GT3 car has got a great tyre underneath it. iRacing has done a great job with these cars.
Don't be surprised to see Late's pole come about from, especially from someone that's done 4 or 5 laps in a row. A minute left on the clock. Michael Fabian with some draft down the front straight. No lap
He's actually
counted,
starting
so
his lap.
yep. Muggleton also starting another lap, so 40 seconds to go. Down about across the line.
A lot of
He goes
changes.
better. 19.3, so he jumps the spot.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of changing in the top 10, especially at the back half. We've got Lee Ellis in 6th, Ian Ford, Christian Elwood, Philip Johansson and Sean Kelly's jumped up to 10th. All those drivers under 120.
Looks like this Z4 might
Lost you there, Daniel. Microphone's playing up a bit. And McLeod coming to the line. Car behind him smashes into the fence at 19.9, so that's no improvement. He will get time for another lap though. The checkered flag is now out. You watch Chris Osborne, got Muggleton just ahead of him. Fabian's decided to hit the pit lane, so he's out. Downs in the fence, he's out. So it comes down to Muggleton and Osborne now.
Muggo's coming around the last corner.
Check Muggleton's time as he crosses the line at
1:18.9.
And Osborne no good, 19.5.
And Michael Fabian just had to sit in the pits watching Muggleton drop that time even more.
As Lee Ellis comes up, he moves up to 5th. The McLeod now back to 8th. And he's now into traffic. And he's going to get balked on this lap, I think. Might be okay. Car ahead gets out of the way. So McLeod's the last chance of moving up through the field here. We're only about a minute and a half away from the race, so these guys don't have a chance to even have a breather after this qualifying session. Straight into the race. 19.7, so not enough. Go through the qualifying results. Muggleton from Fabian down, Osborne, Alice, Johansson, Elwood, McLeod, Ford and Hampstead the top 10. Kelly, Ortridge, Oliver, Philsell, Nethercote, Burton, Hartley, Carroll, Butler, Barron, Gardner, Leach, Baker, McMullen, Black, Kernich, Wilson, Brooks, Fultz, Cattell, Lilac, Atkins, McKnight, Ivanovic, Gordon, Karios, Fontaine, Matheson are the drivers that we will have. I think we've got 38 drivers for this race.
Yeah, just noticeably, just disregard Daniel Bryant there. He's obviously unable to log into the server the correct way.
Daniel obviously thought that getting to the track meant going on the track, so sorry about Daniel doing that, but he's a rookie.
Don't.
Amateur hour.
Especially with the dog in the background.
The grid lining up now.
Does have a little bit longer to grid up than normal. So 18 lap race for this one. Standing start again. Interesting to see whether we get a rolling start in one of the races over this format as well. Of course, tomorrow night we'll be back on from 7 o'clock. 2 races again, same format tomorrow night, same time frame. Guys won't have an advantage having a longer race or a shorter race tomorrow night. It'll be around about the 25 to 30 minute length in race. Almost ready to go. We've got about 10 seconds. There we go.
Reds rise. 38 cars on the grid.
Interesting, Anthony Kernich is starting in pit lane.
Oh,
we are underway.
Look at him, already 3 wide.
Fabian's looked like he's got the great start. Oh, and he's all crossed up.
They all funnel into turn 2. No incidences yet. Still 2 free wide at the back of the pack.
Alice. All crossed up.
Oh, we've got cars on the grass.
We've got a car facing the wrong direction. We've got cars into the fence. Ryan Leach, I think, involved there. Car 85. Here's McMullen.
Mike Matheson. Big one coming out.
John Kelly.
We've got Rob Hartley, Rob Wilson, Bo Cattell. Massive damage, massive crash.
Bo Cattell missing the front off his car altogether.
This is meant to be the race of champions, guys, not probably the race of chumps, as we've got...
Oh, that's Matthew Barron facing the crashes.
Barron doing big resistance in the grass coming out of the fast speed.
And that's a surprise because he does drive the McLaren a bit. But Muggleton about to cross the line for the first lap. So it's Muggleton from Fabian.
Sorry, mate, but Bobby Johanovic has actually had a bit of a trouble too going into the rear complex, so he's dropped a lot of spots.
First 2 guys broken away. Down in third from Osborne, Alice, Johansson, Elwood, McLeod, Ford and entered in the top 10. Guys in the lane after that incident. Hartley, Leach, Patel.
Yeah, not surprisingly, that was big damage.
This is 4th and 5th on track. Chris Osborne, Lee Ellis.
Osborne can't really afford for this. He's got to get past Down and Fabian because he's in the hunt here.
Pressing Tony Aldrich a little bit further down from where he was in the first race.
And Aldridge in the RUF. We're going to see this though, the ebb and flow of drivers in certain cars. Maybe they may not like one, they may be better in just others.
And Dave Oliver's been issued a black flag penalty for incident on lap 1.
Running in 12th, that's not what he wanted to see, but we'll have to try and run back and try and find the footage if we can.
Now,
No,
Muggleton
I've been told we're not. Sorry guys.
and Fabian, these two, they've just broken away, but that gap, I don't think Muggleton will like seeing Fabian that close behind him. They're running up McMullen just ahead of them, who will be a lap down after having his car swapped over.
Just as an update for you guys, Dave Oliver's actually been pinned for rolling Sean Kelly out of the hairpin there in the middle of the track, so
Oh,
causing that
Muggleton
massive.
and Fabian both off the track. Unusual from first and second, both off the track. We're 3 laps in, we've got 15 to go, and look at this 3rd and 4th battle now. Down has Chris Osborne right on his tail.
With Lee Ellis and Philip Johansson right there, ready to take any pickings that these two guys allow. Oh,
Osborne's
Osborne's
given a
wide.
little bit of a gap, yeah.
Ellis is in the inside here. It's drag race into the tight little complex. Osborne's actually got the line and is powering ahead. Ellis tucks in there.
That was aggressive over those curbs too from Osborne.
McLeod making a spot on Marlon there.
And
Right now,
McMullen
Mullen.
obviously a lap down.
My bad, sorry there guys. I got excited anywhere. Oh, but then what? Osborne wide.
Now Osborne's actually
Osborne's
opened the
very
door.
wide.
Looks
Alice,
like Jake Burton a little bit further back. Had a bit of an incident. Damien Butler takes the position.
Osborne holds the line though.
it's a good race, good battle here between Osborne and Alice. And Downs now managed to pull away from those guys.
Yeah, that's not what Osborne needs right about now.
Dave Oliver's been issued another black flag penalty. That'll be his 2nd black flag. Yeah, Hansen moving
Exit
around.
from Oliver.
Unsafe
drivers-
pit exit.
He's not happy about it.
Philip really close in out the lead. Oh, looks like you're going to get this move done.
No.
Nope. Please.
Oh!
A little bit too
Wide,
hard
wide,
there.
he's out. And
That's
into
the
the
wall.
wall. That'll be race done.
That's disappointing for him. He had a good qualifying.
That's actually really strange. Almost like a hardware failure of some sort there.
Yeah, he just went straight. Stopped turning and a little bit unfortunate there for Philip.
Back up front, the battle between first and second between Muggleton and Fabian, it stretched out to about 1.5 seconds a little while ago. It's back in under a second now.
Mitchell McLeod looks like he's applying a little bit of pressure here to Christian.
Christian Elwood, we were saying earlier, very, very comfortable in this McLaren. There's 2 races tomorrow. The guys have to pick all 4 cars over all 4 races, so they can't use the same car twice. 4 cars out of 4 GT, McLaren, the AUF, and the BMW.
So watching Christian here, he's doing a really good job of making sure that the car's in the right spot to just slow Mitch down without blocking him too much. I think he's doing a fantastic job here.
A good close battle. We'd like to see nice, close, hard racing.
But this is going to bring Ian Ford into this mix as well. We saw how strong Ian Ford come in with a few laps in on the rough.
Olivia Hansen, unfortunately, is now out of the race.
Jack Burton wants his position back.
I can confirm that Hansen's out with a steering wheel failure. Just as we predicted. Unlucky. So obviously a team change there for Jack Burton as well. He's moved across to the Custom Image Motorsport team, who's affiliate of TTR. So congratulations to Jake. They will do a very, very good job moving him up the ranks.
Speaking of TTR, he's in a team, Josh Michaelson leading this race. He's not getting it as easy as he got the last one. Michael Fabian is actually quicker than him the last 2 laps. He's only 0.4 away from him, so Michael Fabian putting a lot of pressure on Josh Michaelson.
Looking at the lap times between Josh Muggleton and Michael Fabian, they just seem to be going blow for blow when it comes to laps. So, yeah, definitely great driving there from Michael Fabian.
Aldridge, Phil Sell, Hampstead, really, really close battle. 9th, 10th, 11th.
Yeah, Aldridge in the RUF, followed by Tim McLaren. Paragross just allows them to get past. Great driving there by Michael.
Yeah, Richard Hampstead just outside of the top 10 again. I think that's the best thing when we talk GT racing, and the way that they've set up these cars is, you know, you only have to be off by a little bit to get yourself outside the top 10. It's not like we're talking seconds here, we're talking milliseconds just to get inside that top 10.
This battle for 6 is still going on with Cloud and Elwood.
Ian Ford looking closer than ever. Mitchell really struggling to get around Christian.
Actually giving up a bit of time there, and Ian Ford's going to try and attack him.
Oh, Mitchell, big slide from the rear.
Butler in third. Very, very close now. Just sitting up the front. Muggleton's pulled a little bit of a gap again from Fabian, and Downs closed right up on Fabian as well.
Yeah, Down now you can see Fabian. He'll be wanting this. He needs to get the points.
10 laps to go, so almost halfway through this race. Ernich, Matheson side by side here through the back of the track. Ernich gets through. He said he started in pit lane, which is a bit of a
Reece
surprise.
Gardner! Huge incident.
The front straight.
It's been tapped
They've been
by
helped
Martin
there, yeah.
Carroll.
Wasn't a good thing.
Martin Carroll's just giving him a tap coming over the top there.
That was a big incident too.
Hopefully Reece hasn't got too much damage from that.
Now here we go. Second, it's on. Fabian down.
Oh,
Very,
look at
very
the
tight
different
battle.
lines.
while this
battle's
is
all-
going on, so Muggo's now out to a 1.5 second lead.
It's a nice battles here as well. Christian Elwood, Mitchell McLeod, Ian Ford, battle Ian Ford right behind Mitchell McLeod. And Lee Ellis all over the back of Christopher Osborne.
Downs almost close enough to get this move done. Fabian's
Look at
gone a
that
little bit
last lap.
wide.
Yeah, side by
by
side,
side.
coming through the kink.
Now Martin Carroll's been issued a black flag. Fabian 2 wheels on the grass nearly. Martin Carroll's been getting a black flag for that incident with Reece Gardner.
Oh, contact.
Oh!
Contact.
Give him a bit of a touch up. Someone probably should tell Madison that this isn't a V8 supercar. You can't go that close with them.
Down will get the
Yep.
position, get the move
Fabian.
done.
Fabian will pull out of that one, definitely, like he did.
Yeah, great move there by them. Fabian's probably better off just to bank the points than wreck your whole race.
The top three though have got a 5-odd second gap back to Christopher Osborne and Phil in 5th, so
And Lee Ellis is right behind Osborne now. They're still going at it. And
Look at this
6,
battle.
7, 8. Elwood, McLeod, Ford.
McLeod all over the back of Elwood, and Ian Ford's there as well.
McLeod trying different lines. He just
Is that
finds a
Christian?
tag McLaren right in front of him, he's got nowhere to go.
She's doing a fantastic job making sure he's using all of the track to keep Mitchell at bay.
He's just running perfect lines to make sure Mitch has a hard time getting past. It's just
Yeah.
a really, really good driver. He's not blocking, he's just putting his car in the exact right positions, right on cue. Running a little bit wide, looking at the right
Jinxed
position.
him. Looks like
They're
Mitch is
gonna
going to get that spot. Looks like Ian Ford's going to go for it as well. Oh, defensive line in.
Not over under, but Elwood would still have the line if he did try and get underneath.
Guy Leach letting him pass you along the straight, that's great driving.
Yeah, definitely not a battle you want to get involved in.
Oh, Elwood a bit wide there.
I think he's been...
Oh! Fabian's just had a massive moment. Fabian's around and in the fence.
Oh!
Bit of damage to the BMW.
All by
He's done that
himself.
one
He
all
got a
by
little
himself.
bit crossed up on the exit of the flip flop there, and
It's going
that's
to
ended his race.
gifted Christopher Osborne a podium.
Not yet, because Lee Ellis is still pushing hard.
Lee Ellis will know that this one will be a podium if he can get it, so he'll be definitely
Make
putting
those
a lot more
points.
pressure now.
That battle for Elwood, McLeod, Ford now is for 5th position. Unlucky for Michael Fabian.
Yeah, Osborne at the moment, the cat amongst the TTR pigeons. Doing it to direct clutch there.
Now, Mitchell McLeod's having all sorts of internet dramas now too, just to throw something into
Oh,
the mix.
deep in the brakes to go around the outside.
Oh, he's going to try and take the outside. He's not going to be able to hold it. Ian Ford's going to get that position. Is he? Ian Ford's going to run? Nope.
No.
He does have a McLaren in front of him though.
He's given Elwood a bit of a gap there. Jeez, look how strong Mitchell is coming through those corners. Maybe it's time for Mitchell McLeod to give up on the V8 supercar and switch over to GT racing.
McLeod.
But Hampstead's pulled himself into the 10.
McLeod
So Aldrich
leaking
fills
out
out.
for a long time there.
Hampstead and Nethercote here having a good battle as Phil Sale just runs off the track, lets Hampstead through.
But yeah, Ian Ford is having a very, very bad time. Looks like
It's not something you want to enjoy or want to do when you're driving. You don't enjoy it.
Quality's dropping. What we say is a mechanical drama. It's coming
like-
back to him now.
Ian Ford's having a bit of an issue as well there, thinking on my screen. Like
Yeah.
his ping's a little bit high. Mitchell McLeod looks out wide.
I'm trying
Watch
to
out,
run
Elwood.
it.
Very defensive on that corner, making sure that Mitchell can't get the run out.
Mitchell waving around in the mirrors of the cloud.
Very smart racing here from Christian.
Elwood's made a mistake.
Elwood runs a lot of speed through those, so he
like
does
he's gonna
put him
get
a bit
just
wide.
Oh! Very close, and
Oh,
Elwood's
he's
off
hit
the
the
track.
dirt there.
This is very
He's
smart
kept it
driving.
together.
Great driving by Elwood. He knows exactly where the car needs to be to block Mitchell's run.
Yeah, and that absolutely brilliant. He's making sure it hits the apex, making sure he stops his run in and make sure he doesn't get a good run out.
Tell you what, just looking just ahead, Osborne and Alice. Alice is within 2/10. But Osborne hasn't got this podium all wrapped up yet.
So Madison down, can see his teammate there.
Oh, Mitch! Very loose on corner exit. In forward,
Forward on the
out onto the
dirt.
grass.
Alice and Osborne are side by side.
Osborne with
racing
the run
in
into
this
the
race.
corner. Oh! Alice, very brave.
That'll give Osborne a tiny little bit of breathing room now. Not
I have
much
to
though.
say though, if Mitchell could just get past Christian, I reckon he'd jump onto this battle for third very quickly. He's got a lot of pace in that McLaren.
I think you're right. He's doing a lot better than I expected him to do.
Don't say that too loud, Jay.
Well, he showed up, so he's always going to do better than you expected.
Madison.
Marty Atkins
And Simon Black there, I think. I wonder how race control's going to see this one. They're teammates.
and the organisers of this event.
We've got a bit of a battle now. I reckon Madison might get onto the back of Josh Muggleton here. His last two laps, 1:18, his fastest laps around. He is hunting down Josh Muggleton. Josh Muggleton still yet to hit the 1:18.
Yeah, Down's actually a tenth or two quicker each lap than Muggleton.
Down's actually done 2 laps. Yeah, as I said in the 1:18s, Muggo's best lap was his last lap by. It was 1:19 flat.
They
Down
are
was
dealing
quicker.
with traffic though. This is a true GT3 race. There is traffic to deal with.
Not normally a GT3 car do you see going past a GT2 car though.
Now Elwood has McLeod right behind him. This is the closest he's been.
I'm actually curious to see which is the fastest Ford GT on track, or if there's any Ford GT still on track. George
Okay.
Fullerton.
George Fullerton.
Note through from race control, Simon Black will be reviewed after the race for the contact with Marty Atkins.
Bobby's the highest placed Ford GT looking at it.
Still on the lead lap. Obviously the Ford GT not the strongest car around here.
And one thing though, if you're not strong at this track, you might as well have the weakest car and the weakest track together. If you're not going to have a good race, you might as well get it all out of the way in one go.
Yeah, that's right. Take a swing at it and just cop it on the chin.
I don't
Like it
disagree
tells.
with you boys. Oh, as McLeod's up the line
McLeod's got
side.
the position.
Oh, this is going to be tight going into these. Who's going to break last? They break even.
Oh,
And
Great
McLeod
move
got
there
it.
from Mitchell McLeod.
Around the outside.
He's got that done.
Great driving there by Mitchell.
Gotta say, fantastic drive from Christian Elwood to hold him off for as long as he did.
Oh,
big
McLeod all
spot.
sideways.
Oh,
He's
McLeod
Elwood's
it
gonna
up.
get this back. Looks like Ian Ford might get around Mitch as well. Nope.
Oh,
Oh, he holds it. Oh,
Mitchell just jams it in there.
Great
Still on
driving,
the
guys.
grass. Great driving by the former champion.
He's very
Correct.
confident in that corner with his brakes.
Osborne still just doing enough. 2 laps to go. He's got to hold on from Lee Ellis. Ellis looks like he's got the pace. He just can't get the move done.
Well, he's got great drive out of
Oh.
here. Great
Now
drive.
they're side by
Oh,
side.
he's got to let off. Big slide there from the car.
And Alice, oh, very wide. I actually thought he was going to spin it then.
Here we go. This is getting very, very close now. It's a little over half a second now between Josh Muggleton and Madison Downs.
Yeah, last lap by down at 18.7, Muggleton and 18.9. Only 19 flat last lap by. McLeod, Elwood, Ford, they're all still close together. It's just the order's slightly different.
And they're 6 seconds behind Ellis and Osborne, so with 2 laps to go, or a lap and a bit, they're really not going to catch. One lap to go, and it's 7/10 at the front, splits the front two.
Third and fourth now, bigger gap. It's back out to 2 seconds now, so Osborne looks like he might hold on to that spot. Ellis looks like he's done. Muggleton's had
Madison, big slide.
Very deep under brakes.
He's second.
Just saves it from going around.
Done well to catch that. Could have ended a lot worse for him.
Well, that's just gifted Josh Muggleton the win there on the last lap. Muggo can just cruise it home from here.
Fantastic run though from Madison to get that close.
Bill Sell Burton, they're still going at it. This is 11th and 12th. Good battle there for guys had in the back of the field. Apologies for not getting to show all of the guys at the back of the field. We've just been so focused on this action we've had at the front. It's unusual to focus on action at the front.
Muggo now.
2 from 2.
Last corner.
Josh Muggleton takes a checkered flag for round 2 of Race of Champions 8.
Madison down across for second position, right across the line into the fence. And Chris Osborne will take the last position on the podium, P3. Lowes holds on for fourth. McLeod, Elwood and Ford. That battle, great battle those guys had for the full 18 laps. Richard Hampstead in 9th, Matt Nethercote in 10th position. Bill holds on from Burton, 11th. And Burton in 12th. Let's wait for all the guys to finish, then we'll run through the results. A few guys left to finish the race. Bit of a battle here at the end. Lilac and McKnight going hard at it at the line. The engine just holds on, and same with Benovich and Black. Bobby just holds on.
Benovich is actually cruising over to round out the last car on the lead lap. Benovich still not finished, and now we go.
Okay, so the results are now finalised. Quickly run through the race results. So it's Josh Muggleton from Madison Down, Chris Osborne, Lee Ellis, Mitchell McLeod, Christian Elwood, Ian Ford, Tony Autridge, Richard Hampstead, Matt Nethercote, Jared Filsell, Jake Burton, Clayton Brooks, Zach Baker, Damien Butler, Reece Gardner, Martin Carroll, Tim Fultz, Sanjay Delilac, James McKnight, Bobby Jovanovic, Simon Black, Michael Wilson, Anthony Kernich, Mike Matheson, Marty Atkins, Marlon McMullen, George Fullerton, Guy Leach, Rob Hartley, Michael Paragros, Matthew Barron, Michael Fabian, Dave Oliver, Philip Johansson, Bo Cattell, Sean Kelly, Scott Fontaine. Great race, that one. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, brilliant race. A lot of action up and down the field. Actually, I'm going to say Mitchell McLeod surprised me. Absolutely surprised me. Not very often you get to say that, so he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, it's it's a great track. It'll always serve up some grace racing there. We saw it right through the pack. Although we couldn't bring you all the battles, we brought you some really great racing. Just one to note, the IndyCars are actually at Barber this weekend.
I think the race is overnight tonight, so that'll be good to watch. I'll be watching that tonight.
Yeah, hopefully Will Power can get another win. He's doing some really great racing on the road tracks, and yeah.
Obviously, don't forget tomorrow night we are back again for 2 more races for Racer Champions 8. We don't know the tracks yet. Obviously, the guys know what cars they're driving tomorrow night, so the guys will be out doing a bit of extra practice to what they normally would. They'll also try and work out what tracks it might be, just judging by what we've done in the past.
Yeah, there'll be some suspicions going around about what they're going to be, what tracks they're going to be at, but it shouldn't be too hard to work out which cars will be what when the guys come to driving it. It's interesting to find out who's used their favourite cars already and who's still got their weaker cars to go. We haven't seen Josh Muggleton in the Ford GT yet, and the Ford GTs in the last 2 tracks haven't put on a great battle. So Josh Muggleton's still got a Ford GT up his sleeve that he needs to use.
Yeah, that's it. I was just going to say it'll be interesting to know who's left the good cars that they can drive tomorrow. We've seen Josh Muggleton actually take a win, I believe, in the Ford GT in a previous Rock. I think it was Rock 4, so it'll be great to see the guys come out tomorrow.
So make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 7 p.m. here at v8online.com.au. I will also put a link up to our YouTube stream on our Facebook page.
I believe you'll be able to also donate. You'll put that up there, won't you, Jay?
Yes, we'll put the donate link up on our Facebook page straight away now. So if you haven't donated yet, please donate. Just give a couple of dollars, $10, $5. Won't even notice it. Just don't go for your morning coffee tomorrow morning and donate to the McGrath Foundation instead. I think that's a much better idea.
It's all tax deductible too. Donate, donate, donate.
Thanks for joining us, Des. Thanks, Daniel. Great job tonight.
Yeah, no worries. It was definitely great to come out for Rock, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. It's good to be back in the booth with Tez again. It's been a while.
Oh, it has been a while, Daniel. I think the last time we saw each other was at Bathurst. So. Yes,
it was. And it's been even longer since Jay and me have been in the booth. So, yeah, definitely good to be back in here with you guys.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night. And we'll be back. Oh, hang on. Before we wrap it up, we might bring Simon down for a chat. Simon Black joining us. Simon, you there?
I'm here, gentlemen. Good afternoon, or good evening, I should say. How are you?
Very good. Now, we're just about to wrap up, but we thought we better let you say a few words.
Oh, well, I've only got a few words left in my voice, I think. So just a big thanks to all the guys at OSR, Mike and Henry and Andy in the booth. And thanks to you guys here at V8 Online. See you all again tomorrow night for another 2 races. I'll release the 2 tracks at about 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And we'll go from there. Apart from that, please remember to donate to the McGrath Foundation. Link should be on the screen or on our Facebook page. And get in there and donate whatever you can. They do a great job training and supplying breast cancer nurses to families around Australia. So if you can support them, please do.
Before we go, we've got to ask, how tense was it in the team after that little incident that was on camera?
You mean where I crashed into Marty?
That's correct.
Yeah, Marty's a pretty cool dude, so he's alright about it, but yeah, I took him out, so I expect to get slapped on the hand from the stewards for that one.
Probably slapped from your teammates later on.
Yeah, that'll come anyway.
Well, thanks for joining us, mate. We will wrap it up. Thanks for joining us out there. We'll be back tomorrow for Night 2 of Racer Champions 8, supported by V8 Online, presented by Oceanic Sim Racing. See you tomorrow.